If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. Right, welcome back to week 8, part 2. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this, to like and subscribe, and if you're watching this on Twitch, to hit that follow button. Okay, over to Scott. So we've been told that there's been another murder.
Right. So the two guards, they guide you back to the location here, the central location where you determine where most of the murders are, the northern section near the gate, and eventually you make your way through the throngs of people, and as you turn the corner, as you get back to the northern section of the Thistle Hold, you can see the crowd before you even get there. There's throngs of people and probably a dozen or so city watch there, along with Sergeant Milos of the town watch, keeping them back. Standing separate from them is another one of the town watch, looks like a youngish woman who has a very fretful look on her face. As you make your way closer, the guards push through and make their way over through the line of people and the line of guards over to Sergeant Milos, and says, Sergeant, we've located them. They were at the tower of the Ordo Magica, and we got back here as fast as we could. And Sergeant Milos greets you and says, I understand that you are working, in regards to this particular set of horrendous events. The mayor has given you leeway to be a part of our investigation, and we thought, considering the information that you have and what we've just discovered, that it was prudent that we bring you in ASAP to see what has occurred here. Can I get a vigilant test from each one of you as you make your way past Sergeant Milos and to witness this crime scene?
Brilliant. I failed.
Okay.
What?
A vigilante test.
A vigilante test, yes. So he brings you into the stable, very small, and you can see a familiar sight, as hanging upside down is another skinned body. From its feet down to its waistline, though, this was not complete. And it appears that they may have been caught in between, may have been in a hurry, but Alfgarn, you noticed, is upon coming upon the scene and you're soaking this in, one of the things that you spot, other than the fact that this was done in a hurry, not with the amount of attention as you had seen in the home of Master Vernum, that also it looks like that there was some sort of fight that occurred here in the stable, a struggle of sorts, as there is a puddle of blood on the floor that may not be from the victim, just dependent on how the body is hanging and everything here. And so it's this is different than the other ones. Obviously a struggle has occurred at Master Vernum's, but for whatever reason, this one was incomplete. But this fight was so valiant that maybe the blood of the victim, there was some sort of thing that did not make it as easy as it was prior. And you can see, though, that even though it's been skinned halfway, that the familiar incision on this body shows that he did cut into this body, and you pretty much ascertained if you looked that those three glands will have been missing, very similar to the other ones. And so you pause and you cycle this in. Sergeant Milos brings you over to this one of the watch. He introduces her as Kitara, and had said, my watch here had the unfortunate instance of having to witness this horrendous act. And he looks, says, Kitara, these are the ones that the Mayor Nightpitch has deemed to be part of our investigation. If you can provide them with another recount of what you saw, maybe they might be able to assist in with the information they have to maybe find some more clues as to who this horrible Reaver is. So she takes a deep breath, and she starts to recount slowly, with a bit of a tenor in her voice, that she had said that she had heard a sound of a fight, something from this stable. We've upped the amount of watch in this area due to the circumstances that you provided to the mayor and the chance that this murder might be in full operation in this vicinity. And upon coming to investigate this sound of struggle, and coming into the stable, I saw what best can be described as someone of a scholarly look, with bloodstained glasses, carving into this body from the beam. This thing looked up at me, or he looked up at me and froze, just as I did. But he gave me this look, just like he was lost in thought. And it's hard to describe. It's almost like magically I was looking in a mirror. This thing, this killer, suddenly looked exactly like her. I could not move, but the only thing that I could say happened was I could hear myself screaming for help. This murderer stopped their work on this body and left. And she paused for a moment. Yes. And he goes, didn't you mention something about how he left? And she goes, yes, that's right. He left limping. That's right. I remember him limping, like as if he had some sort of wound or something wrong with his lower extremities, his legs maybe. But it definitely looked like there was blood coming from their leg. But it's hard to recall, because as you can see, not just there's puddles of blood everywhere, of which Elfgar, you notice that they're one that just didn't seem similar to the rest. And she goes, and that's about it.
Ooh,
That's all I can remember.
Maybe.
I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Milligan.
No. I'm unimportant.
We don't need any distractions right now. What was I going to say? Yeah. May I ask as to what form the man left in? Did he have the same scholarly appearance, or did he look like you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I will ask her that.
And she goes, to the best of my recollection, I believe this thing left looking like me. But it's hard to say. That the stress of the event, the just witnessing this whole thing, it was like a dream.
Is she lying?
Is she lying?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me is it vigilant, I believe.
Fuck me. Why is everything
it'll be
every skill I ain't got?
What is it?
Vigilant versus discreet, I'd say.
Yes. So it'd be just a straight roll, vigilant.
Oh shit!
Okay.
I succeeded.
Yeah, Maligno, she just due to the stress, the way she's acting, her heightened sensibility of this whole situation. Either she is an extremely superb actress, or she's not lying at all. This is something that she actually witnessed, and she's having trouble coming to terms with what she saw.
Oh, because this changes everything. Because we thought the thing had to take the skin. Excuse me.
Might make our task a little easier.
Well, maybe if we can find. Have you let everyone else know that there's some different blood? Elfgarn. I know this is out of character, by the way. I'm just, Well, maybe. I mean, maybe there's if it's injured and it's bleeding.
That's what I was going to
maybe
say.
there
Is there
could
any
be.
sign of a Scott? Is there any sign of a trail of blood leading from this site?
Go ahead and give me a vigilant roll at a -5.
Well, fuck that.
And Scott,
Yeah?
I will say to the others, I believe that our killer may have been wounded because I can see a pool of blood.
Can I
Maybe
assist
there'll be a
him
trail.
without rolling? Can I give him Can I assist in this game and give him a positive? Not that I'm very good at vigilance, but can I assist him, or is there?
Well, do you have something specific? Because you're using tracking, is that correct?
Well,
Alfgarn, or
I do not have tracking as such. No, I think Danny's the one with the tracking. The nearest thing I would have is beast law, but that's for tracking animals, which wouldn't really apply. So I'm basically just looking around to see if I can see a trail.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Just gives you the pluses. So let's see here, J-Wall. What is with assistance in this game? It's I'm looking for it. I'm drawing a blank.
From what I remember, there's not really assistance.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have something specific that can help, James?
No.
Do you think that might be able to help him? No,
of course not. This is Maligno we're talking about. I mean, that is my biggest. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it on break. I'm gonna say it on break because I was looking for all the abilities and I was like, well, it's all combat focused mostly.
True.
Like, there's nothing for like social or anything like that.
Alfgarn will turn to Maligno and say, Maligno, if you were trying to get out of this place without being seen, how would you go about it?
What does it look like? I don't know what this barn looks like, Scott.
Okay, so the general conceit on the Iron Pact is any sort of assistance would generally be a +1 roll. So it's kind of like a sensibility type thing. There's nothing if it makes sense. So I mean, yeah. So if Elfgarn, if you want to bring Maligno or Maligno offers, and this would make it a -4 as opposed to just a -5.
I will take the help. Okay. So -4 to my roll. Yep.
Yep. And then as you do the searching, you're helping Maligno. The other 3, and I'm just counting Danny's character in this because he's not here, but he's still there in spirit. You can hear a ruckus coming from the crowd.
Holy shit.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. And the rest of you hear a voice saying, I need to speak with the watch and those that are helping them. It's of vital importance.
Recognize the voice?
You don't, but this is the other 3. You're kind of like searching for this trail, so to speak. But yeah, you pick up on this trail as it's leading away from the stable. So you feel confident that if you continue on, you might be able to track its location due to the blood left behind from its wound.
I will point out this potential trail and sort of congratulate Maligno for his aid in my task, for helping me see how best to sneak out of here without being seen. Is it moving without being spotted, or?
Mm-hmm. So the rest of you is kind of Elfgarn and
There's
Maligno.
any loose bushes around where it's used to bush.
You're kind of you're doing your thing. You're doing the whole Lord of the Rings thing. As you're pausing, you're like, there was a fight here, a struggle, and so you're trying to determine where they went.
Two hobbits laid here.
Yeah, to be fair, Scott, I've tried to avoid saying what do my keen Elfgarn eyes see.
But you hear a familiar voice, the three of you. In fact, I want to say most of you do, and you're going, I need to speak with them, and then you hear another voice of going, Balmello seeks, their presence. And you glance amongst the crowd and you see kind of pushing through is, someone dressed and adorned in the not necessarily a black cloak, so to speak, but someone who would be construed as a hunter of sorts. Balmello rings a bell because that was a name reference to you when you began that fight in the beginning of getting here to Thistle Hold, of those group of thugs who were trying to take down this small child who they were accused of being a witch. And so this stern looking man makes his way through the crowd, and he kind of pauses in front of the guards, and he's trying to get your attention. Says, I need to speak with you. It is regarding this whole Reaver thing. I may be able to assist you. And you see the familiar faces of some of the those men that you had fought, some of the ones that have run off. Still recovering from their wounds and their shame, but eyeing you with a bit of a disregard. So do you address him or just ignore him and continue on your way?
Well, three of us, me and Elfgarn are kind of busy looking at tracks.
Yeah, so I'll let you others answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm being useful. Have you realised?
You should talk to him. I'm Goblin. He will eat me. He's a guard.
So Revnia, do you go up?
I'll go up to Balmello.
Okay.
I'll go behind her, hiding.
Okay.
Just in case.
So as you approach, the guards kind of they'll part and they'll let him come through, and this stern looking stoic man comes in. You do see once again the familiar faces of a few of his henchmen come through. Likewise, he has a very pale looking young man behind him on a leash. And he comes forward to you, Revnia, and reaches out with a gloved hand, and greets you, and immediately starts going into asking you for his utmost forgiveness in the event that occurred upon, earlier in Thistle Hold. It was not my intent for you to have this be your first impression of our city here, but my men aren't used to the ways of this, as they are more used to thoroughly corrupt villages on Davakar's border, and not with the more complex conditions of a town such as Thistle Hold. And please forgive, their harsh methods. They have been dealt with accordingly, and most assuredly, this would never occur again in here or any of the other more civilized towns surrounding this, our region. And I've even, sent my apologies to, Mayor Nightpitch himself. As you can see, if there was any sort of contention, we would not be within the walls of Thistle Hold. But he, and as he's done, he's waiting for your reply.
So Revnia will actually be a little bit surprised by this because she knows the stories of the vicious witch hunter Balmello, and will say, I must admit I'm quite surprised by your apology. I didn't expect one from, well, a witch hunter such as yourself. I have heard of you and your merry band, let's say, and what you end up doing around the villages of Davokar.
He
Can I throw which side?
He says, "Well, I mean, obviously, I'm here, seeking out this horrible Flayer. I'm a man of opportunity, such as most hunters could be, and finding out that this Flayer is obviously either an abomination of sorts or in dealings with them has been brought to my attention. And as stated, things work differently out on the perimeter of civilization, and as we make our ways through more civilized aspects as Thistle Hold, we have to conduct ourselves differently, if you catch my drift." And as he does, he leans down to this young man and whispers in his ear. And you're there, Oleg, right?
Yep. Can I use my witch sight on the boy?
Oh, absolutely.
It's his vigil discreet.
Just give me a straight roll.
Okay. Yay.
Okay. He carries some corruption around him, nothing severe. And then as he does, you see through your use of the witch sight, he is actually looking around and scanning every one of you with his own witch sight.
I'll pull on Ravnia's cloak.
I lean down.
He's scanning us. He has some witch powers too. Just be careful.
I'll nod, say thank you to Oleg, and I'll get up and say to Balmello, I trust this isn't a captured witch like the one your men were looking for earlier today.
He gets a slight surprise on his look on his face. He goes, "Oh, well, this particular one here is well, but a willing tool. He can assist me in finding those who might be disingenuous with their ability to tell the truth, and also finding those who might hold, so much corruption that they are at the point of becoming abominations themselves." And he says, "But that aside," and he kind of pulls the leash a bit. He says, "So upon hearing of this other murder, I would like to come and offer, my assistance in locating this, this reaver. I think together we might be able to, dispose of it. So this fair city of Thistle Hold can carry on the way it was before its arrival." And he gets a wide grin on his face.
This guy's a dickhead.
I'll say let me confer with my party for one moment.
Okay.
I'll gather everyone up.
Okay. And he says, oh, but of course. And it'll be at this time that Elfgarn and Maligno will be back with the news that they found a trail, a trackable trail.
Yeah, I'll tell everyone that Balmello is offering his assistance.
Means
And
like
what did? Actually, yeah, Oleg, I'm going to ask you as well. Could you have a scan of Balmello?
yeah, sure. I'll
Okay.
try and scan him.
All right. Let me get his discreet for you. This might be different.
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead. It's a straight roll.
It's straight. Ooh.
Okay.
Is it important, Miss Ravnia?
I have a feeling that it could be.
Okay, I'll spend my XP.
Okay.
Do I roll for corruption twice then? Or?
No, just once.
Okay.
Wow.
Damn you, roll 20.
How it goes sometimes.
Okay.
All right. Oh, and sorry, Oleg, my mistake. I should have provided you with a little bit more information on the child. Yes, you did see that he was corrupted, but what you see is a warm blackness, like the inside of a velvet cape.
What would that mean?
That would mean that the corruption probably is fairly severe.
Oh, I'll
I mean,
share. Yeah,
I'll
share with you.
The more corrupt you are, the larger your color dissipates and the blackness takes over.
Oh,
Poor kid.
it's the nasty. The mol, whatever his name is. He doesn't look like a nice person.
Yeah, and you weren't able to find anything on Balmello. Nope. You failed twice. So yeah. So this is the one that you saw was coming from the child.
And this, I'll say to Ravnia, this is the guy who sent those thugs after that little girl.
It is.
Those thugs that we tried to fight badly.
Yes, I will say, I said to Balmello that I was surprised to hear that he was apparently apologetic for the way his thugs acted, considering the stories they tell of him.
Want something nasty?
I'm not adverse to aid from others, but what's in it for him? He doesn't
That's a
strike me
good
as the sort
question.
of person who does it out of the goodness of his heart.
Maybe he likes balloon animals.
Balloon animals are always good, but yeah. Yeah, I'd want to know why he wants to aid us.
He has
Is
a
he just
child on the
concerned
loose.
for his neighbours and doesn't want to see any more of them get slain? Or no, I think there might be more to it. I mean, the fact that he chases down kids and then goes around with a kid on a lead like a dog. I don't like this guy.
I have a
From
great.
what I know of Balmello, he's used to burning down villages. So
As you're doing this, you're conversing amongst yourselves. You can see Balmello, who is now speaking to the one City Watch, the witness, along with the child next to him.
I have a great idea. We could let Maligno help him with his investigation.
Why?
No reason.
Oh, the same thing you did with the tea and the balloons.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Sure. That's how you want. If that's what you want, then yeah, I'll do it. I know when I'm not wanted.
perhaps Maligno should stay with us.
And follow
He
the trail that he helped to find. Yes.
He has proven his usefulness.
Yes.
And he is not a murderous Black Cloak like Balmello here.
No, he's not.
No. But not through want of trying. It's just... Yeah.
Oh, he tried a couple of times.
So do we wish to reject his offer?
Without knowing what's in it for him, he says he's a murderous Black Cloak.
And he likes hunting children. I don't like that.
Yeah. When it comes to hunting animals.
On your bike, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, upon meeting or completing your discussion, go ahead.
I've got an idea. Rather than say no, why don't we say we'll contact you if we need your help? Where can we contact you?
Okay.
You see, I like that. That's something that a cunning person would come up with.
As cunning as the fox that went to...
As a professor of cunning at Oxford University.
Would you like to make Balmello aware of the news then, Maligno?
Certainly. I'll go up to him and go... yes, we would appreciate your help, but we'd like... we will contact you when we need you, if that's okay?
He stops his conversation with the guard, and he says, just one moment, young man. And he leans over and whispers into the child's ear. The child kind of gives a little nod and says, oh, go ahead.
Nothing. Why have you got a child on a leash, by the way?
So to answer your question, he completely ignores that one. Sure, we are currently staying at the Court and Harp. So if you need to, get a hold of us, you can obviously find us there. One of my henchmen or send a runner. And he seems like he's in a bit of a hurry now. He's like, I will be looking forward to your, to meeting with you and speaking with you further in this. If you'll excuse me. And he kind of turns and starts to head towards back towards the crowd. And he gives a nod to his henchmen and he starts to make his way out, unless you say anything else before he goes.
Follow him.
I think someone should track them, follow them. Someone who can be discreet and move around without being seen. Has anyone got a bush?
Yeah. Is there, Scott, is there any, is this like a back street?
Where you're at, this stable, it'd be like a back street. I mean, there's several smaller
alleys. Is there any
alleys.
washing lines with washing on that's stretching between the street?
I would say probably not in, well, maybe. Let me see where you would be. What's in this general? This is 42 Toad Square. I mean, there would probably be certain things such as that. I wouldn't equate it with like a Victorian era type situation where it's just lines and lines and lines of wash drying, but you might be able to find something. I mean, of sorts.
I'm talking more like slum cities generally have washing line hung over. Do you know what I mean? I'm sort of like.
This particular city likes to portray itself as being far better than what it is. So the slumminess happens indoors. The city streets, though, exude this cleanliness and orderliness. But that's not saying there wouldn't be something like that. It just wouldn't be in abundance. And probably would eventually be asked to be taken down because that's not what Nightpitch was.
In the crowd, is anyone wearing a hat and a cloak or like a raincoat or anything like that?
Sure, absolutely. There would be someone who may have a white brim hat.
A decent amount of money and go, I need your hat and cloak.
Okay.
Motorcycle.
Fair enough. The person's go ahead, just give me a persuasion roll with like +3 since you're giving money. I'm not going to fail you. All I want to do is if you got an exceptional roll, maybe throw something else in, but I'm not going to fail this. He's going to look at you a little bit odd and go, how much are you offering him?
I don't know what a decent amount is. I don't really understand the currency. Well, I don't really know what the currency is, to tell you the
truth. What's on your sheet? Do you have any money on your sheet?
Well, I've got 53 fauna, but I'm not supposed to have 53 fauna, right?
Okay.
J-Wall, you said I didn't get as much money as everyone else.
Yeah, you got 53. You didn't got 100.
Oh, okay. I got 53 fauna and 6 shillings.
Okay. What are you going to offer?
Much
shillings?
How much is a fauna? How much is a fauna? Could a fauna buy him a new coat and a new hat?
I believe it's 10-10. Is the general? Yeah.
All right. So how much is like? I mean, obviously, I personally don't know the currency. Like, you know, a hat and a cloak from a shop.
A sword is like 5 falla.
Yeah, sword is like 5. A shield is 2. So clothing, basic clothing, would fall into the level of like a robe. Like this is armor, is anywhere from 2 to 10 thalner. So like light, like a basic robe would be 2 thalner. We'll just say that.
Okay, I'll give him 10 thalner then.
Oh, okay. He looks at it and says, well, by all means. He takes off his wide brim hat and his cloak and hands it over to you.
I'll put it on, and I'm going to follow the bloke.
Okay. So they're very easy to follow, but are you trying to be discreet, or are you just following them?
Yes, of course I'm being discreet. That's why I put on a completely different set of clothes. Like, that's why I've changed my silhouette.
Okay, just go ahead. We'll take care of this real quick. Give me a. Let's see here. What's their discreet?
Oh, you just change. Can you stop changing my cat sheet?
Did I change it?
That's
okay. Okay, so at a certain point, they're going to split. You're going to see he's going to stop as he leaves the crowd, right? He hasn't taken off yet. He brings a couple of his henchmen in, and you can see him conversing to one of them, and 2 of them take off in one direction, and him and the rest and the child go in the opposite direction.
I'm sticking with him because I was told to follow him.
Okay. Give me a straight discreet roll for now.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. How much experience does it cost me to re-roll?
1.
Okay, I'm going to spend 1 experience to re-roll discreet. Oh, that's weird. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Rerolls are not going well for us today.
No.
How many times can I do it?
Just once.
Just once, yeah. Right. Now, to be fair, this is not like they've spotted you. You just don't know if they have or not. But it's one of those. So you don't know what the outcome's going to be. So you're following along, and you can see as he does, his entourage gets smaller. About halfway, and he's heading south. About halfway through, where he's going to get to about this point here. He's going to, most of his are going to break away, and it's going to be him and 2 of his henchmen and the child. And then he stops for a moment, and as you see, he doesn't. You see the child stop for a moment, and he doesn't notice it, and he stops, and he feels the leash go taut, and the child turns before he turns around and realizes it, and you swear that the child has made eye contact with you. And then he kind of notices the leash is gone taut. He turns and starts backing, making his way
I'll
towards the
sort
child.
of face. I'll turn. Is there if there's any stools? I'll just turn and face the stool, and with the hat down, and just from the corner of my eye, look back. So I don't lose sight of them.
Okay. So he walks up to the child, and the child kind of turns. And he kind of leans over and said, you can, can't make anything, but he says something to the child. The child just kind of shakes his head, and they continue on. So while he's following him, we'll kind of go back and forth real quick. While he's following him,
this is how Maligno died.
Do the rest of you follow the trail that Elfgorn and Maligno had, or are you waiting there for Maligno to come back?
You're free. Freedom. Think about that. Freedom.
I know we could be rid of Maligno forever, yet it's an awkward one. I mean, we know where we can meet up if we get split up.
Pretty gate.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start following this trail of blood, Elfgarn, right?
Yep.
And so as you do, go ahead and give me a vigilant test at a -3. In fact, all three of you. Okay. Once we get through this, yep. And what about Revnia?
Yeah, I failed it.
Oh, you failed. Oh, sorry, I missed that one. Okay. So, Elfgarn, you are following this trail, and you're picking it up. You're losing it for a moment. You're picking it up again, and as you do, you're leaning over, and you get that feeling, and you kind of turn behind you, and you look past Revnia, you look past Oleg, and you can spot, someone just kind of just a second too late maneuver out of your gaze, and right then and there somebody's shadow.
Shit, am I following the wrong people?
No, you don't see a wide brim hat with a giant peacock feather in it and a bright purple cloak. Now, granted, you didn't tell me what kind of clothing, so maybe that's why you were spotted. So you get that sinking feeling that yes, somebody's.
I'll make it a pretense of studying the ground, pointing at some, marks non-existent or real, and as I'm pointing at them, I'll just whisper to Revnia and Olik and say, "We're being followed."
Right.
2 cars back on the left, or the equivalent of that.
And we'll stop with. We can take a break right after this. Maligno. You're still following the child, Balmello, and his 2 henchmen that are with him, and it seems like he's heading to the southwestern portion where this tavern is located that he had referenced. But then he takes a sharp turn, and you can tell by this turn that he made, he's making his way back around towards the northern section where essentially you all came from. And that's what we'll take a pause if you want to take a break.
Okay. Right. We will be back in 10 minutes, guys. Don't touch that dial.